In my experience, growth can be a mixture of things. It can be good, it can be bad, it can be objective or neutral. So here I'm going to differentiate different types of growth, including Cancer growth versus crystal growth versus business growth. Today is Sunday, 14 September 2025, and I, Tanis Coralee of Seattle, differentiate between Cancer growth and crystal growth and business growth, including my own lived experience as applicable. Yes, so I was diagnosed with cancer at 22 years of age, and before I received the official diagnosis, I watched the cancer grow. And I got the spot. It was melanoma in situ on my back, and it started growing when I was about 19, 20 years of age, and I watched it grow bigger and bigger, and I was just like, just stop growing, okay? Growth means death in that case, right? If it's not caught in time. And so I went in to the doctor, and we caught it early, and they were able to cut it all out. But that's the meaning of growth there is it can result in death, especially if not stopped or not caught in time, not removed. In that sense, growth can be synonymous with death in cancer. Okay. For that particular type of cancer manifested superficial change on my anatomy around my skin. So there's one. Another one I've introduced, if you've been watching my videos, crystal growth. So I have actually published in peer-reviewed journal, and one of my undergraduate theses was on crystal growth of a mineral called olivine, and then I did an experiment where I took pictures and made vlogs, and then kind of after that recapped growing these crystals, which are just some table salt mixed into water, and then they crystallize. And this is a good one. Crystal growth is very cool, and from my perspective, I majored in geology and geophysics, minored in mathematics, and did an entire undergraduate thesis on it, and I've published in peer-reviewed journal on it. This is cool because there's rings, so there's and as the water evaporated down, the rings actually grew upwards. And then there were also these very crisp-edged crystals that grew. So for crystal growth, it depends on the supply of the elements needed to grow the crystals and how it travels within the medium from which the crystal is crystallizing. And then also the surfaces available and how it can crystallize. So it can be, the meaning of growth is kind of nutrients coming together and making a crystal form or crystal habit and making crystals. And it can manifest in multiple forms. And then up last is business growth. And so business growth, it really depends on the individual and the business. Speaking from myself as a business, it can be good. However, growth can be good. However, it can also be, if I have stretched myself too thin, then growth is bad, because I might not be able to cover all of the bases I need to cover to get the work at a certain level of performance for my own personal preference. So it can also mean expansion of a person's business model or a business concept. So it can be good. It's a kind of a mix of things. So I would say it takes on kind of what is the intent of the growth? Is it being controlled? Is it out of control? And is it in control and intentional, but it's going in a direction that the people are like, well, we didn't really mean for it to do that. So then should we try and curb it back and address these problems? So growth in business may be good, it may be bad, but it may also, even if it's good or bad, it may come with additional hurdles and complications and that kind of thing. And then how growth manifests, it could be physical, it could be internal transformation, it could be number of peer-reviewed journal articles, that kind of thing. I can just think of it as I have a CV. As my publication history grows, the list gets longer. So that's a really simple one for my own lived experience. So there we go. That's differentiating on a very basic, brief level, cancer growth versus crystal growth versus business growth.